Hey everyone, how are you? Welcome to the CRACK MRCS YouTube channel, and this channel is dedicated for MRCS examinee. Different topics will be discussed gradually, such as all questions of eMRCS, recalls and Fawzia sheets, and the topics related to the MRCS exam. So here, this is the question and answer solve session. Here is the question. First of all, read the question very carefully and pick up the important point for answering the question. So here, which of the following muscle is supplied by the external laryngeal nerve? So here, the key point here, the which muscle is supplied by the external laryngeal nerve. We can see the different nerve present in the larynx area. So among them, the external laryngeal nerve, it present in the laryngeal area and it supplies which of the muscle. So we have to find out the muscle which is supplied by this nerve, this external laryngeal nerve. Here the options are transverse arytenoid, cricothyroid, thyroarytenoid, posterior cricoarytenoid, and oblique arytenoid. So we have to find out one of the muscle which is supplied by the external laryngeal nerve. So here we can see, here this is the larynx here, and we can see close to the larynx there is two nerve. Actually we get back from here. Here we can see this is the 10th cranial nerve, this is the vagus nerve which arises from the medulla oblongata, and it leaves the skull base through a foramen, that is the jugular foramen, and after leaving the cranial cavity through the jugular foramen, it gives two important branches. One is the superior laryngeal branch and another one is a recurrent laryngeal branch. So here the vagus nerve, it provides two branches. One is the superior laryngeal nerve and another one is a recurrent laryngeal nerve. And we can see the recurrent laryngeal nerve, by arching a vessel, it reaches to the larynx finally. And here the superior laryngeal nerve, it also divided into two parts. One is external laryngeal nerve which lies outside the larynx, and another one is internal laryngeal nerve which goes to the larynx and supply the area. So here this diagram should be clearly remember that vagus nerve divided into two parts, superior laryngeal nerve and recurrent laryngeal nerve. Superior laryngeal nerve, it also divided into two parts. One is the internal laryngeal nerve, another one is external laryngeal nerve. So this total 4 them is very important, and our concern here is the external laryngeal nerve, which is this external laryngeal nerve. It lies outside the larynx and supply the muscle which lies outside the larynx. On the other hand, the internal laryngeal nerve, which goes to the interior or inner part of the larynx and innerve this area. And this external and internal laryngeal nerve, they arises from the superior laryngeal nerve, and the superior laryngeal nerve, it is the branch of vagus nerve. So this 4 name is very important. First of all, vagus nerve divided into two parts, superior laryngeal and recurrent laryngeal. Superior laryngeal divided into two parts, external laryngeal and internal laryngeal. So in the next picture here, we can see this is the superior laryngeal nerve, arises from the vagus nerve. It gives a internal branch which goes to the inner part of the larynx through the cricothyroid membrane. Actually it is the thyroid membrane. And the external laryngeal nerve, here it goes outside the larynx, and we can see it supplies a muscle which lies outside the larynx. So we have to find out the name of this muscle, because this muscle is supplied by external laryngeal nerve, that means the external branch of superior laryngeal nerve, and the name of the muscle is important for our answer. And this nerve, we can see a nerve is ascend from the below. This nerve is the recurrent laryngeal nerve. So here in this picture, here we also can see the larynx is related to the other vessels. Here we can see this is the common carotid artery, then external and internal carotid artery here, and here we can see the superior thyroid artery is arising from the external carotid artery, and it goes also inside the larynx. And here the nerve which lies outside the blood vessel. So this relation is also very important, that the just lateral to larynx which vessel present. Here we can see this is the external carotid artery and common carotid artery. Here the common carotid artery on both sides, and then external carotid artery, and the vagus nerve and recurrent laryngeal nerve, they usually lies outside the or lateral side of the common carotid artery. And in this picture you can see the same picture, but this picture are very important for this, the repeatedly shown in this slide. Here we can see the vagus nerve. It's divided into two parts. One is recurrent laryngeal and another is superior laryngeal. Superior laryngeal again divided into two parts. One is internal laryngeal, another one is the external laryngeal. So here it is the nerve supply of the total larynx. We can see here, first of all, here we can see the internal laryngeal nerve and external laryngeal nerve. This internal and external laryngeal nerve, which is a branch from the superior laryngeal nerve, and superior laryngeal nerve, it is branch from the vagus nerve. So this chronology is very important to remember, that the internal laryngeal nerve is enters into or inside the larynx, and external laryngeal nerve, it lies outside the larynx and it supplies this muscle. So we have to find out this name of this muscle. So here we can see the internal laryngeal nerve, it only have sensory supply, and it supplying area up to the vocal cord. So it supplies in the upper part of the larynx up to the vocal cord. On the other hand, we can see the external laryngeal nerve, it is only motor. So internal laryngeal sensory, external laryngeal motor, and it supplies this muscle, that is the cricothyroid. So it is our answer, that the external laryngeal nerve, it supplies the cricothyroid muscle. On the other hand, we can see the recurrent laryngeal nerve. Recurrent laryngeal nerve, it has both sensory and both motor branches, and the sensory branch, it supplies the larynx in the lower part below the vocal cord. So the internal laryngeal nerve, it supplies the larynx upper part up to the vocal cord, and recurrent laryngeal nerve, it supplies the vocal cord below the vocal cord in the lower part. And motor and recurrent laryngeal nerve, it supplies all muscles of the larynx except one muscle which is supplied by the external laryngeal nerve, and this is the cricothyroid. So the muscle which is supplied by the external laryngeal nerve, this is the cricothyroid, and rest of the muscles of the larynx is supplied by the recurrent laryngeal nerve. And internal laryngeal nerve, it is the only sensory, and it supplies the upper part of the larynx and up to the vocal cord. So here we can see which of the following muscle is supplied by external laryngeal nerve. The external laryngeal nerve supplies the cricothyroid. Other muscle present in here, it is supplied by the recurrent laryngeal nerve. Thank you all.